So now let's add some content. Clicking add here shows you a drop-down menu for adding all types of content. There is probably the one we use the most is the rich text HTML content type, and that's just for putting in pretty much anything, primarily text, but you could embed an image in that text. You can, if any of you know HTML or CSS, you can do HTML and CSS editing. So it's the most basic, but it's also the most versatile. So let's start off with that. Let me go through. Yeah, let's use the box, and then I'll go through some of the other ones. Okay. So rich text HTML. And what it does is it opens up a what you see is what you get editor, right? So just like a D2L discussion forum box. What we do at the library is, we try to have like headings, text again, and that's just for accessibility. And perhaps I do have a whole guide for accessibility for LibGuides, and I will share that with you. But we might also want to do an additional training just to kind of go through that and make sure that everyone understands what all of the things mean. But I kind of want to have you play around with it and get comfortable with it before we get into all of the more technical stuff. So I can type anything here. And then I can change the style. So for headings, I usually switch it to, not that one, sorry, to heading 3. And then for text, you always want to be at a minimum of 16. Which doesn't look all that big, but it makes a big difference for people who just need a bigger font. And then, I can embed a link. Oh, and that's one thing that's kind of annoying is it's not consistent with the formatting. So I usually actually will put in all the content and do the formatting last because it didn't keep the 16 from here. It went back to the default for the link word. So that's something to keep in mind. But this little icon here is the add a link. And so you have your display text, you can put the link in here. And if you want, you can specify whether you want it to open up in a new window or not. So you could do new window, same window. Those are the two most common. And that's totally up to you. Let's put in. So now we have a link. Oh, you know what? It changed the size yet again. Okay. And I would say those are the ones I use the most often. It's got your standard like alignment stuff, numbered lists, bullet lists, indenting. You can add images here, table. So it does, pretty much all the same stuff that a D2L discussion does. And then from this screen, you can also change the position if you change your mind about where you want it to go. And then when you're all set, you just hit save and close. Now you've got a box.